Is what's going on, man? How's everything going today?
Hey, how's it going, man? Everything's good. Good.
Man. Once again, it's your boy Pop DiBiase for Fanatics View, and I'm here with Texas's own George Rincon. Super lightweight, 140, 10-0, 7 knockouts, 5 KO streak going as we speak now. And he knocked out a lot of guys in 2019, man. And pretty much my first question, though, man, I never realized. I was looking at your box rec last night, and I saw from your first fight, your debut, that it took you about 2 more years to get back in the ring. What was the situation with that, George?
Well, at first, like just straight off the bat, I probably, if I were to give any advice to young guys coming up wanting to go pro, is to make sure that you do it at the right time.
Right.
I turned pro at about 23 or so. 23, 20, yeah, about that, around that age. Mainly because I was waiting for the Olympics. I had the 2018 the Olympics before. I was actually right at the age where I couldn't make it. So, and my goal was to try and make the Olympic team. So I waited the extra 4 years.
Right.
And then, I took a fight to go pro, and I was like, I was ready to go pro now. And took a fight, got that fight in, and then got some manager issues, contract issues.
It happens.
Stuff, man. So, I was kind of stuck in a situation for a good while that I couldn't get out of. So I was almost a year just kind of stuck. And then I finally got my second fight, and then that's when I met Lamont. Well, I knew of Lamont Roach, and I knew them through the amateurs and stuff like that. But we finally got kind of caught up again, and me and my brother, so we jumped on with him, and things have been going pretty good ever since.
Okay, and then how did Goldenboy come into the fold?
Well, we started off with Lamont, like I said. So he had Lamont Jr., Roach Jr. Was signed with him, and so I got in there with Lamont, and I had one fight under one of Lamont Jr.'s fights, and after that fight, we got word that they were taking me in with Goldenboy, so we did make it happen.
Oh, so it was like a team. It was a team thing. Well,
Yeah,
that's what's up. That's what's up.
yeah.
And we met last year in Houston, man, and it was crazy how already popular you and your brother were, man, in the state of Texas, man. And I thank you guys, because when we did it, I was still kind of green interviewing and things like that. So when I did on Periscope, and you guys were one of my biggest views and everything. So I thank you guys for that. And I remember how excited all you guys as fans was, hometown, everything like that. So that's good to have the hometown behind you and everything. We're gonna talk about your community work in a minute, but my first question for you is how's life been in the pandemic and everything since they shut everything down, bro?
Luckily things are kind of picking up a little bit more now. Beforehand, when everything started, it was kind of crazy because, everyone has their own situations, and for us, it's a little tough because the gym that I train at is it's a PAL, so it's a police athletic league, so it's a city-run building, and so things are a lot more strict. So it was tough to kind of get out there and work out. We're doing home workouts for the first month or so, just kind of doing what we could with what we had. But, things are getting a lot better now. So, well, being as far as being able to get the work in, case-wise and things like that, things are still kind of, in Texas, they're pretty hot. But luckily, been blessed to stay safe, being able to stay safe and just continue on working.
All right, so hold on. Just a little call that just came in. Just letting them know I'm doing an interview right now. So your next fight, what do they have planned for you?
At the moment, we don't have a set date right now, but I'm just kind of really getting ready for just in case I get a call and just to really push hard for whatever time they give me. But just kind of getting back into my timing and sparring and things like that. I had a little break, I guess, or situation with what happened with me in my last fight. And so I kind of was taking it easy, and then finally got into, as I was barely getting back into my sparring, that's when all this Corona stuff popped in. And so then it really pulled me back. But I'm feeling a lot better now, and getting those rounds in now, getting that sparring in. So we'll be ready for the next fight.
And man, tell us about that surreal experience, man, because I got scared for you, bro, because I got a lot of love for you and your brother, dude. And man, I was like, and they said on the internet, they said George Rincon passed out after he knocked the guy out. And I was like, what the hell do you mean he passed out after he knocked the guy out? So what
Yeah.
was that surreal experience like, man?
Yeah, man, it was definitely a scary situation, especially with having so much family and friends there. Um, it was weird, man. I really don't know. I can't really say I know like what caused it. I can just say like maybe it was this or that. Weight wise, I mean, I got to work for those last couple pounds, nothing different. But I didn't think too much of it. But everything was fine. Weighing, I had breakfast the day of the weigh-ins. Weight was good. Weighed in, feeling calm before the fight. I didn't get touched in the fight. So I couldn't. It wasn't from like a hard blow. But then that's when I went back to the corner and they were just taking my gloves off, and I just kind of felt like I don't know, just like a little heavy chested, and I just grabbed onto the top rope to kind of just catch my breath and squatted down and catch my breath, and the next thing I knew I was waking up on the ground. And just to kind of make lighten up the situation, I was when I came back to, I saw, of course, everybody was over me checking on me, and my dad and my manager were there. And my first thought when I came back to, I was like, damn, I got knocked out. But I was like, nah, I won. And so that's why I was like, man, but that was all like within a second, and I realized what happened. But I was okay, thank God. And, we went to the hospital, everything checked out, and everything was good. So, after took a little time off, of course, after that, and that's why I was just kind of working my way back into things and slowly but surely getting back into it, making sure everything was good. So everything came out good, no problem. So, just a blessing to be still here and healthy.
Man, hey, that's what it's all about. Now, you got to fight in Atlantic City. It was B-Hop Hall of Fame weekend, all that good stuff. How did it feel when they finally said, okay, we're going to give George his shot at the big event, but they took you to New Jersey? How was that?
That was actually a really good. It was a real nice trip, real good fight. I definitely had a different type of fighter that day, so I was able to kind of do a little bit different than my other fights, and made me work a little different. So that's good. Always getting that kind of experience to be able to adjust to different fighters. And I was in good shape for that fight. I had to really put pressure on this guy. But being in that situation, I was blessed to have an opportunity to fight anywhere like that. And it came out victorious that night. So everything went well, and it was a good experience for sure. And that's all it is, really. Just kind of keep getting all that kind of experience to make myself better.
And you guys have an extensive amateur background, everything like that. And I know that they're kind of taking their time with you guys and everything, you and your brother. Now, is there a plan in place for, say, the next 18 months with Goldenboy that they've laid out with you? I know we got a pandemic, but we do always know that we're always thinking forward as well, too, in the boxing game. So have they laid out some type of plan for you and your brother as you guys getting past to world titles? Because you guys have world champion written all over you. It's just when are they going to put you on the path? You know what I mean? So how you feeling?
Right.
So yeah, you guys put that together?
We haven't necessarily sat down and talked about, as far as a plan and what kind of road we're taking, but, I trust my team. I trust Lamont, my manager, and, he's always in contact with them and making sure that, we do what we can to get where we want to be, and, doing our part and just staying ready and making sure we're fight ready. But, I had, me personally, I had my own kind of vision of, how many fights and where I wanted to be within the next year. And then, of course, with all this happening, I felt like, luckily I got one fight in at the beginning of the year. But, I really had a different, of course, everybody had a different plan for this year after all this happened. My plan at the beginning of the year, before this first fight of the year, I had planned to, maybe get another 3 or 4 fights this year, and hopefully by the end of next year have some kind of small title and start getting my ranks up, and for sure, if not by the end of next year, early that year after that, I'd be, in the top 15, top 10, and getting ready to, do something. Now we kind of have to adjust with everything going on, but it's time to really push and just be ready. there's people out there who getting calls, and I just, I just want to be one of those guys who, if I do get a call, it's one of those opportunities that you just can't pass up, regardless.
Right. And because you're fighting in a heavy division, bro.
Yeah.
140, everybody talks about 147 or 135 or 130. But I feel like the group that might be the most talented out of the bunch doesn't get mentioned enough. That's 140. They got a lot of killers at 140, man. Who are the top 5 fighters in that division to you, other than yourself?
Well, you got to get the 2 champs right now. You got Jose, and is it Josh Taylor? So you got those guys. You got Pro Gray in there. You got all these different fights. Zepeda's in there as well. I know he just fought like a week or 2 ago. So you got a bunch of 140 guys, and the crazy thing is that all these different. I mean, everybody has their own style, but I just see a big variety of fighters in the 140-pound division. So it's not necessarily, oh man, you got these top 3 guys are all pressure fighters and anything. Oh man, everybody's got their own unique style, and everybody brings a different thing to the table. So that's what's so cool about the 140 division, is that you got all these types of fighters from all over the world. So but yeah, man, definitely the 2 champions. You got I know Pro Gray's up there. I remember seeing him fight in the amateurs. He's from Houston, Orleans area, but I remember him from the Texas State Golden Gloves. And so a lot of these guys I remember seeing up. Maurice Hooker was at 140, so him as well. So we got all these guys, man. I know, and lately it's been just picking up more and more, and you got some 135 pounders that might be moving up too. So
Right.
This 140 is going to be, man, it's a crazy division. I think it won't be long before 140 is the one talked about more than the 147.
Right, because a lot of people have to understand, a lot of the 147 veterans, the Errol Spencers of the world, the Danny Garcias of the world, those guys are actually, and I've talked to, camps and things of that nature, at some point those guys will be moving up to 154. You know what I mean? And maybe next year or 2 or so. And, I'm not trying to jump, I'm not trying to jump the track or anything, but this is just what I know, because this is what I've asked them before. So I'm just saying, so people know that as the game keeps going on, 147 won't be the money division anymore. It was really the money division simply because Floyd Mayweather was there. Now you have you have some your own stablemates like Ryan Garcia at 135, and T.O. and Haney and all these guys, and they're chomping at the bit. But a lot of people have to understand their fight might not come at 135. It's probably going to come at 140 most likely. You know what I mean? And a lot of people have to understand that you are just creating your name at this moment in the lightweight division. Floyd Mayweather was a stellar featherweight, but everybody talks about him as a welterweight. So The thing is, it's the beginning stages, and I know because you're a bit of an older boxer, and so the patience with you is there. A lot of the younger boxers, though, they want everything right now. And and I tell guys all the time, once you win the championship, it gets harder, right?
You got a target on your back now. Yeah, it don't get easier. It gets harder, but
it gets harder. Yeah. See, it's easy when you on the come up, you hungry, you in the gym every day, on time, and then when you get that championship and the new checks come in, and you got everybody and their mama want to have you promote something for them, then hey, things change a bit. You know what I mean? So, but let's talk about your work in the community, man. I follow your Instagram and everything like that, and I always see you working with the kids. I see you working with older adults as well too, and you teaching everybody the craft, the boxing, and everything. How did you come about that, and how do you feel when you're doing that?
It's man, I get chills just now thinking about it. It's people that don't know, I do help other kids and adults and different things for as far as like training, and that people come to me. You got all kinds of different trainers out there that like to just the fitness area in general, but a lot of people have come to me for that reason, for boxing, and just being able to teach these people the art and what I've grown up to do all my life. It's really cool to be able to see how much these people love to do it as well. and how much they grow in the sport, as far, whether they're actually trying to compete or they're just trying to do for fitness. It's cool to be able to show them, to me, one of the coolest thing is when I show them, hey, I'm teaching them a certain thing, or telling them, hey man, look, whenever you're in the boxing ring, when you're doing this, you're trying to set this guy up for this. Whenever they actually see fights on TV and they see that, they're able to actually see that and tell me, hey man, I was watching boxing the other day and I saw what you were talking about. Like, this guy set him up with this and he was working his jab and doing this. And that kind of, it's cool to see that now they're actually seeing it, and well, I know what I'm talking about. So
Right,
so it's the coolest thing, man, to kind of be able to share my love for the sport and my experience and my knowledge of it, and just to share with the people here in the community, and then they enjoy it, and it makes me happy too. So when I just, everything I do is boxing, man. So and I thank my dad for he's the one who got me into this. So he opened so many doors for me. So.
And you guys have a really tight-knit family, man. And I know your dad was your first coach and everything, and your brother's coach as well. So you and your brother, man, how hard do you guys push each other? I know you guys spar with each other probably from time to time and everything, but how hard do you guys push each other in the gym, say when you're sparring another guy and he might be watching or something of that nature?
Yeah, man, we're always there to support each other. Just growing up in general, we've always had a really, really tight bond, and always being able to push each other, be supportive of each other in what we're doing, taking care of each other. So we don't spar as much right now. Sometimes we'll get in there and just kind of move with each other, and you just kind of work on some things. But yeah, I mean, if he's there, if I'm sparring, he's there watching me. If he's sparring, I'm there, helping him out, and being in this corner. And so and during when we got our strength conditioning workouts, we're always kind of pushing each other, maybe not verbally, but we know mentally, if he's next to me and he's doing, I try to keep up with his pace. There's something else, he tries to go as fast as me, so we're always pushing each other, even if we don't know it. So it's good to have somebody, like my brother with me through this career, through this, on this path to, becoming world champs. And I believe that together we can do it.
Man, and I'm watching your journey very closely. All right, let's envision it 2-3 years from now. You're the man. You got your title. What is your dream fight? You the shot caller. What is your dream fight?
Man, if I'm champ, depending on who's in that weight class, man, it's. I know a lot of these guys are gonna be in there. If it comes to it, and if Jose's still the champ at 140, that's a really good fight. I believe that could be possibly made. And these guys that are coming up from 135, eventually, you got your Tank, you got your Ryan Garcia. So, man, at that point, only God knows. But I'll just be taking fights left and right, man. It's just a love for the sport. But I'll be willing to, I'd be willing to do whatever I got to do to keep that belt.
And see, this is a humble man right here. Everybody got their dream fight. Everybody got their moment. This guy is taking it one fight at a time. One fight at a time. Young boxers need to look at that and really, 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 jot that down, put it into their notes. You know what I'm saying? So let's talk a little bit of sports. Do you watch regular sports? You watch regular sports, correct? And you guys are from the Dallas area, correct? The Dallas-Fort Worth, the Metroplex. Yeah. Man, that's a long.
Yes,
that's a long. My boy was like, it's like 6 hours. I said, hell, I'm from California, so 6 hours. That's driving to San Francisco, bro. So I'm like, whoa, you guys.
Right.
And there's people who work 3.5 hours away from where they live at and do that every single day. From what they told me in Texas, that's nuts. But I know the pay must be good. So we got 4 teams in the city of Dallas. What is your order? We got the Cowboys, we got the Rangers, we got the Mavericks, and we got, did I say Rangers already?
And the Rangers, we got the Mavs, we got the Cowboys.
And then you got the Stars. You got to throw the hockey team in there too.
Yeah.
But maybe we could throw do they got a soccer team down there? I know they got one in Houston.
They got the FC Dallas.
Okay, so you can decide. You can kick hockey out if you want to, if you need to do FC Dallas. But what's your order of your fandom with that?
Man, I gotta say, I'd have to pick the Cowboys first. Pick my boys first, even though I'm a little mad at them right now. I gotta go with them first, then the Mavs, and then the Rangers.
All right.
And then we can leave, and then the FC Dallas and the Stars can fight for the other spot. But
the consensus fourth place. All right. So, but what's your problem with the Dallas now? I want to hear this because I do more than boxing. What's your problem with them right now?
Man, it's crazy, man. It's true what they say. The Dallas Cowboys fans are the craziest fans, man. But it's just crazy to believe of what as soon as they had their really good season, the rookie year season, you got your Zeke and you got your Dak, and everybody knew, whenever their season started, I was like, man, if they didn't do anything in the playoffs, then what makes you think we're gonna get it next year? That was the year to do it, with the kind of momentum and that they had going, and they still couldn't get it done, not even make it to the championship game. But oh man, just inconsistent. It's just kind of frustrating, and I just kind of. I watched them play. If the Cowboys are playing, I'm rooting for them no matter what. But at the end of the day, it's like, man, until once that regular season is over and playoffs start, that's when I'm kind of like, all right, now let's watch some football. Like, and everything else doesn't really matter. Now we got to win these games, and that's when they're kind of just, man, it's hurting. But
man,
it hurts, man.
Okay, so how you feel about Dak in the extension then? Since we're talking Cowboys and you mad at him. Let me get your 2 cents on if you Jerry, would you pay Dak? Let me know.
Man, again, going back to like their year, I mean, he started off really good, and I just can't. I really was hoping that they didn't do it because just I'm not a huge like Cowboys or not a football like person who knows all the stats and all this and all that, but just using my common sense and saying, okay, well, you're going to extend this guy who still hasn't provided the kind of like, okay, man, this guy, give him another year or two and he's going to make it happen. I still don't see it, And I was just kind of like, man, and especially after the Mahomes, contract. When I saw that, I was like, oh man, here we go. Now he's going to start asking for more money. I'm like, don't give it to him, man. Like, we got to be smart about it, but Jerry Jones is Jerry Jones, and we'll see what he decides to do. But I'm a Cowboys fan all the way. So.
I don't know why a guy has to pass up on $33 million a year. I'll pick the grass on the turf if they ask me to do $33 million a year.
And then the craziest thing, he was like, man, I can't provide for my family with that. And I was like, damn, man, like. How you living? Like when y'all kids eating, or y'all eating steaks every night for dinner, or what?
Did he forget he's from Mississippi?
Yeah, that kind of goes with any sport, man. Like in reality, like going back to the boxing part of it, like my biggest thing, like my goal is to do what I can, make a name for myself, no matter what that means. Of course, the dream goal is to become world champ. But at the end of the day, it always goes back to my health, my family. Being able to make a name for myself for after boxing and being able to, provide after boxing. So, the biggest thing for me is make some kind of name for myself for and everybody kind of has the, you want to be able to do what you want to do in boxing and what kind of goals have in boxing. And don't get me wrong, I'm focused on what I want to do and what I want to accomplish. But at the same time, I got to be thinking about the future and past boxing and for my family and for myself. So that's the kind of things that I was thinking about, man, is just, I'm doing this for me, but I also, I got to make myself right for my family and everybody else involved with it. So that's the number one goal right there. And, God's been blessing me with this opportunity to be here and to be in the sport, be healthy and do this sport, do what I love. So I'm just going to keep at it, man.
Man, I'm with you, and I know that, man, that big things are ahead for you and your brother. And funny thing is, if you ever seen him with his little brother is a few inches taller than him. So don't get it confused. This is big bro right here.
I'm big bro.
You know what I mean? He's big bro. He fight at 140. Yeah, he's big bro. And he made sure to let me know that early, like, I'm big bro, okay? Don't ever get it twisted, all right? So the Rincon brothers, man. George, it was beautiful. I thank you so much for your patience and your time, man. And nothing but
Thank
the
you for
best
having
for
me,
you.
man. I
I am
appreciate it.
following your boxing journey. Do you have any shots out that you want to do before we part ways, brother? You got any shout outs for anybody?
Yeah, man. I just want to shout out, to my DC family, the Roach family, my manager, Lamont Roach. It's just been nothing but great to us, just like family, and been, I trust them all the way. And I know we're going to make this happen. It's just a matter of time. My dad, who's actually got me started in this, my gym. I got Team No Excuse in DC, and I got my Irving Powell family here, and my strength coach, Dre, Coach D in DC, and Coach Dre here in Dallas at World Champ Training. And I just, appreciate all the support of everybody, who tunes in and who supports Team Rincon. And just stay tuned, man. Don't forget the name.
Yeah, stay tuned. George Rincon,
Sure.
super lightweight, 140. You guys be on the lookout. And he's a part of the Goldenboy team. So just know he's one of their up and coming prospects. I don't like the word prospect, but he's one of their up and coming gems, as I like to say. So there it is. There it is. It's your boy Pop DiBiase signing out for Fanatics View.